Hi, this is Pastor Kevin on Opinions. It's kind of fun to do an opinion piece on opinions. Opinions are important to an extent because everyone seems to have one. And opinions when it comes to things like style of music, color of carpet, everyone has their own preference and those things are fine. But as we look at social media, we seem to see a lot of people who have opinions that aren't based on fact or truth. It's important then, when we look at opinions, to balance, first of all, is it a matter of fact or is it just a matter of preference? I said in a couple episodes ago about we shouldn't silence voices, and I still hold to that. We shouldn't silence voices, but we still need to balance the voices of what is true and what is not, what is actually opinion or what is actually fact. We see this all over social media, that people take their opinion to be fact. We even see in our country that there are even some opinions that are being published into law instead of actual facts. Therefore, it's important for us again to check to see, is what my opinion really about opinion or is it about a matter of fact? That's why fact checking is so important. First of all, we need to know if something is true or not. We can find truth, first of all, in God's word. Because God is truth, He is the arbiter of truth. We can go back to God's word, and when someone says something, we can go back to God's word and see, what does God's word say about that? Is this truly a matter of truth or a matter of opinion? Now, God's word is not going to talk about what style is right or wrong in music. God's word doesn't talk about what kind of genre of film is right or wrong, or even what kind of carpet, I mentioned a moment ago, what kind of carpet is the right carpet for one's home. God's word doesn't speak to those things, because those things are a matter of opinion. But God's word does speak to things that are fact and that are true. For instance, when it comes to our identity, God's word is very clear that our identity is either in Him or in sin. That is a fact. Now, there's other things too, things that are said in the public arena sometimes, things that need to be fact-checked to see if they're true. I came across something just recently about someone who published and said something about there's these people who aren't paying their property tax, and it's not fair for those of us who are, and if we don't pay it, we lose our property. Well, there are certain facts about that matter, and stuff that needs to be fact-checked to see if it's true or not. So when we hear those assumptions that are made about certain people or certain groups of people, it's important to do the research to find out if it's true or not. First of all, ask ourselves the question of, what does God's word say to it? Referred to that already. What does God's word say about it? Then after that, if God's word doesn't speak to that, well then let's be rational and think through it and work through it together then. It's important to have a good logical argument, because truth sometimes is based on logic. We don't say that God's word isn't logical, it is. We don't understand sometimes God's logic in something, but we know that God is always true. And logic actually comes from God. We didn't make up logic as human beings, we discovered it because God had placed it into being already. So when someone raises their opinion about something, listen to it, but then weigh, is this a matter of opinion or a matter of truth? If it's a matter of truth, then let's seek the information to see if this opinion is in line with truth or not. Opinions don't matter when it comes to truth. As some say, facts don't care about your feelings, which is partially true. Probably a harsh way of saying it though. Truth is important first. Facts is important. Secondly, because it always relates to truth. And then thirdly, opinions after that. So check your opinion. Is it based on truth? Or is it a matter of just opinion and not fact?